And Namaskar. I'm Anil Tiwary and I'm an advocate practicing in Jamshedpur Civil Court. Today, we are talking about cyber fraud, online blackmail, both boys and girls. So let us begin. Let me tell you about a real incident before I delve into this specific issue deeply. The real incident happened 2 days back. The names I will not reveal, but the events are completely real. And incidents like this are happening in every city, on every street right now. The fraudsters have now started picking on students, young boys and girls living in smaller cities, smaller towns also, because they are accessible, more accessible now. There is a young man, 18 years old, 19 years old. He gets some message on his phone. There is a profile and he gets a message from ostensibly a girl, but no one knows. The fraudster may be putting up a facade, but he thinks that the message that he received was from a girl. Then the profile had a blue verification tick also and an advertisement alongside it. Paid service, video call, chat available. And right below it, privacy charge, just a small amount. And it's fully refundable also, the advertisement says. So the service charge is refundable. Now think about that for a second. Someone tells you, pay this money and you will get it back after some service, some hanky-panky service. Now, shouldn't it, ring bells, in your head that there is something fishy? But in that moment, it felt normal enough to him because he is not very experienced. He has not seen much of the world and he is ignorant of these things happening in the country. So it felt very normal to him. He sent the money. And finally, the boy succeeded in transferring 10,000 rupees or thereabout through a direct bank transfer to that fraudster. And what did he get in return? He was promised some photos, pictures, images. He got nothing, no service, no video call, nothing at all. And when he asked questions about him not receiving the service that he was promised, and he asked for his money back, the answer was a threat. She threatened that she will file a police case against him. Now think of it, a 19-year-old boy. He spent 10,000 rupees in anticipation of getting some images, some pictures. You understand what pictures? And he lost his money and he was scared to his bones. Just imagine what that young man must have felt after the other person threatened him. He felt fear, shame, panic, and worst of all, the thought that he cannot share the facts of that incident with anyone else, not with his guardians, his parents, nor with anyone else. So that, friends, is the most tricky part of cyber fraud. Actually, most dangerous part, the fear. The money is gone, yes, but before that, they attack your fear. They delve into your fear and they use it. Your shame, your sense of shame that you have done something wrong, and your sense of being completely alone in this world. So normally inexperienced boys and girls, they go through such difficult situation. And it is not just boys who get targeted this way. I want to mention another kind of case, just as common, where a young girl receives a message from a profile claiming to be a modeling scout or a casting agent. You have a great look. We would love to work with you. Just pay a small registration fee to get started. The starting point would be something like this that would sound very attractive, very promising to a young girl. And, it starts with a small amount. Same playbook, but different bait, a small payment, a sense of urgency. And then if she hesitates or asks for a refund, the tone shifts to threats. The disguise changes. Sometimes it's romance. Sometimes it's a modeling offer. Sometimes it's a lottery win or a job opportunity. But underneath all, it's always the same 5-step trap. Once you can recognize the pattern, the disguise stops working on you. And that is the most crucial part. The cyber criminals, they actually feed on and play on your emotions, your fear and sense of insecurity. Now let us understand how these scammers actually operate. And this is important to understand because this isn't about one case. It's a pattern repeated again and again across the country. So the first step is it begins with a bait or attraction, an attractive profile photo, a friendly message, or some offer that sounds too good to pass up. Free gift, paid chat, service, I just want to talk to you. It always starts off looking harmless, There is nothing wrong with it. The second step is building trust. The conversation grows with time, and there's laughter, light flirting also. A sense of closeness is created by design, and sometimes gradually through a video call to win your trust. And the third step is a small request for money with a small excuse. Just pay a small deposit. It's a privacy charge. It's a comfort charge. Don't worry, it's refundable, or say it would be adjusted later on. Some promises, vague promises. The amount is at first kept very small on purpose with a particular design to fool you so that you do not hesitate in taking the first step. And the fourth step is pressure and urgency. The moment you initiate the relationship, the conversation, they would try to create pressure and urgency, a sense of urgency. Hurry up, do it now, don't wait, or something else will happen, something you do not want to happen. This urgency is created deliberately. If you don't do this, then this will happen. So because a person who is anxious or has a rust sense of doing things, thinks less clearly. And the fifth step is the most dangerous step, the threat. When you stop paying or when you stop listening to them, then they would start threatening you. Then they start issuing threats. They will tell you that they will send your private content to everyone, reveal something private, or that you indulged in some particular behavior. And this is the part that the people often misunderstand. They will even say that they will threaten that they will file a police case against you. And normally, teenagers, people with not so much experience, become fearful, and they usually tend to comply with the initial demands. Only after a point, they decide that they cannot put up with it any longer. They go to police and seek legal help. And this brings me to something really important from a legal point of view. Friends, if someone cheats you out of your money, or, dupes you and then threatens you with a police case, that threat itself is a crime. It's called criminal intimidation combined with extortion, meaning frightening someone into giving up money or some advantage. Now, in India, we now have a new law, the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. It has been there since 2023. And under Section 308 of BNS, extortion meaning, forced extraction of money or property through fear is a punishable offense. And under Section 351, criminal intimidation itself is a separate punishable offense. And if someone deceives you with a false promise, like calling something refundable when it never was, that falls under Section 318, which deals with cheating. And it is not just about money. No, if someone takes your photos or videos and threatens you with them, then the Information Technology Act comes into play. Since 66C, 66D, and 67A, among others, they come into play. What this means is actually the law has plenty of tools available. What is needed is the courage to come forward and report it to the police and the authorities. Now, here is the most important point. If something like this has happened to you, remember, you are not the criminal, you are the victim. And here, people, they almost get confused with this criminality and victimhood. They really feel that they have done something wrong, and this is why they are deceived by people who intend to cheat them. Very often, young people, especially teenagers, they choose to stay silent because they think, I made the mistake, I got myself into this trouble. But being deceived and being cheated, that is not a mistake on their part. It's a crime that was committed against them. And the person threatening them usually has no real legal power over them. They are simply counting on their silence and their fear. Now, let me also clear up a common doubt. Many young people, if I made a payment for something I should not have, can that be used against me? So this young man, he also, he thought that the very fact that he paid money for some service which he thinks is illegal, though that photo never arrived. So he thought he had violated some law. So can that be used against him? The answer is straightforward. Paying for a service that turns out to be a fraudulent service that was in itself a fraud does not make you a criminal. It makes you the victim of cheating. The law looks at what was done to you, not at your embarrassment. And the cybercrime portal complaint, once filed, becomes an official time-stamped record that you came forward as a victim. So the next part is what to do and what not to do. Let me give you some direct and practical advice. What to do and what absolutely not to do. If you or someone ever finds yourself in a situation like this, first is what not to do. The first part is, the very first point is, do not panic and send more money. Remember, the demands will never stop on their own. 2,000 today, 5,000 tomorrow, 10,000 the day after, and it will never end. The second is, do not respond to the threat. Do not argue. Do not try to explain yourself to the other party. The more you respond, the more leverage you hand them. And the third is, do not delete your evidence, any evidence, chats, screenshots, payment receipts, none of it. Never delete them. All of this is very important evidence for your own protection. And the fourth is, do not fight this alone. If you are into a soup, you are facing such, tricky situation, you have to share it with someone. Do not stay silent. This is the single biggest mistake that young people, they normally do. They stay quiet out of shame and fear. Now, here is what you should do, actually. First of all, immediately block and report the account on the profile that is, trying to blackmail you or, dupe you or take your money, deceive you. Second is, preserve all the evidence, screenshot, payment details, messages, everything. Keep them safe and sound. Google Drive, use Google Drive and keep it in a folder safely. Third is, the government of India has a cybercrime reporting portal. Go to that portal, cybercrime.gov.in. File a complaint there. It's done online. It's completely free, and it's your first and strongest line of protection. So go there, use that. Fourth is, tell someone whom you trust, a parent, an elder sibling, a teacher, or if no one is available, go and approach a lawyer. They do not charge money just for initial, advice. Normally, they do not. And you can consult a lawyer for, friendly advice. And maybe they will charge a little money. No problem. Pay. If you are so, under carrying the burden of having done something wrong and someone is fooling you, cheating you, and you do not have the answers, right answers, go and consult a lawyer. And 5, if the matter feels serious enough, go to the cyber cell at your nearest police station and file a written complaint. Remember, it is the duty of the police to register your complaint, no matter how embarrassing the situation might feel to you. There is nothing embarrassing. You have, maybe you feel you have made a mistake. Okay, confess it. Go say that, yeah, I was wrong, but someone is trying to, commit a crime against me, trying to fool me, take my money. So go share it with someone. And in the end, I also have a word for parents and guardians. If any parents or guardians are listening to this episode right now, I want to say something to you as well. If your child suddenly seems scared, withdrawn, unusually quiet, or is seen being overly protective about his phone, he's not parting away, parting with his phone, unwilling, always getting, he looks engaged with his phone, unnecessarily fearful, he looks fearful. And before you react with that situation, before you react with anger, before you scold them, just ask and just listen to what they have to say. Small minor mistakes, young children, they do sometimes, cross boundaries. That is their learning phase. And they are not children if they are not, crossing a few boundaries. Children by definition have to be someone who try to dare to cross boundaries, limits that you have set and the world, at large has set for them. They won't be children if they do not, have that tendency to cross boundaries. This is how the world operates. So children, you listen to them, please. And because very often children stay silent, not because they have done something wrong, but because they are afraid that their parents will be angry or that they won't believe him or her. And that silence is exactly what these criminals are counting on and feeding on. Do not leave your children alone. Do not leave them defenseless. Try to be their first defense. Encourage them to come to you and share their dilemmas, their moral. Most of the times they have many moral dilemmas, and there is no one to resolve those dilemmas for them. So be friendly towards them. Give them at least that liberty that they would come to you and share their, tricky situations with you, so that you can, it's for you, it's a matter of, a simple, analytical sentence that nothing will happen, or let us leave it. I do not mind, So if you help them with such reassuring sentences, they would really, feel very, they would be calmed, and they will not feel nervous, and they will not commit more mistakes. They will be doubly careful next time. So the heart of today's episode is simply this, that the internet is really fun and useful and easy as it seems, but it also demands as much caution. Any offer that says free, refundable, or hurry up, come fast, the service is about to, end. Look at it with suspicion. So you must have that suspicious approach towards such offers. And if you ever do find yourself caught in something like this, remember, you have to set aside the shame, set aside the fear, and speak up. Share with someone else. The law is on your side, and as a lawyer, as an advocate, I promise you this: every genuine complaint gets heard, and every victim gets justice. Just trust the system. It may seem very, time-taking, time-consuming, and very tedious, but actually the system has been made to help you. I'm not going into all the details, but I've seen cases where cyber crimes have been resolved and the victims have got justice. So that is all for this episode. I'll be back next time with another legal topic. Until then, stay alert, stay safe. Thank you.